Alright guys, it's Alpha Heavy Gamer and welcome to the latest edition of Biggest Winners and Losers. This is the Dance of Dragons Update Edition. With these videos, what I do is I go through every nation and I rank order them from biggest winner to biggest loser. Not all nations get the same amount of attention every update. It's really not possible. So I'm going to break it down for you. Also, what I do is kind of hit the highlights of the update. I go over a couple of those, but don't worry, we will get to the nations. Alright, so let's first talk about how we're all winners here with this nice quality of life update, I like to call it. So, do you hate those pesky helicopters? So specifically now, the H-64 and the K-52 have fully detailed damage models. So really, when you used to shoot one of them helicopters and your shell would just ghost right through it, nothing would happen and they would still come kill you. Now when you shoot that, especially with an APFSDS round, it's going to hit something, some important piece of electronics, avionics or something, and there you go. Gaijin's finally listening. I'm glad we got that. Some of the other helicopters, they've gotten, I guess, an integrated damage model, not one that is as detailed and refined as the A64 and K52, but the follow-on is coming. The helicopters will eventually all get this really enhanced damage model, which is really good for the players. Helicopters are really a nuisance. There are also some other really good updates that I've been waiting for a while, like the realistic sights for ground vehicles. I've been using them on a few, and it's just really good to to be in the M1 Abrams or maybe the T80 and actually be able to use a realistic sight for the nation. It's really cool. You ought to try it out if you haven't yet. Another really good addition is that Gaijin's extended the new vehicle status from 14 days to 28 days. So now you get, double the time to actually grind that vehicle out before you have to go back and it becomes a headache. Alright guys, so let's jump into the rankings and starting with biggest winners. I'm going to have to go with China as number one. They really got two important aircraft, two 4th generation plus aircraft. They got a JF-17, the Jeff, which is a squadron vehicle, which is probably one of the better squadron vehicles I've seen lately. They also got the J-10, Vigorous Dragon, which is another 4th gen plus fighter. So really good additions for China right there. On the ground side of things, China picked up the Antelope Air Defense System, which comes between the PGZ-04A and the Torum-1. So it fills a pretty important gap there. And it's always really good to get some air defense systems because CAS is really getting strong these days, if you hadn't noticed. Alright, so next up in the number 2 slot for the biggest winner is the USA, and look at the aviation assets. The US picked up some really good jets this time. I know a lot of people have been waiting on the A-10C. A lot of people said it was dead on arrival and it's an 11.3, but actually I don't think so. I've been watching other people play it, and with the AIM-9Ms, it is really a beast actually. And it really seems to be a pretty tough aircraft to take down. You got some JDAMs on the A-10C. You got the advanced precision kill rockets. So I mean, I'm glad it's here. I kind of wish it had been here a couple updates ago though. We also got the F-111F, which is I think maybe the fastest plane in the game right now. It's just good to see the VARC, the latest version of it into the game. Always happy to see that. We also got the AV-8B premium, so like the night attack version of the Harrier. So you don't get the radar and everything, but you get all the other nice pieces of kit. Just keep in mind this Harrier is at 11.3 and the other premium Harrier is back at 9.7, and you're gonna have AIM-9Ls at 11.3. So not a bad jet if you want to pick it up. I do love the Harrier. It's a beautiful aircraft to me. So looking pretty nice. Definitely have choices. On the ground side of things, the US picks up the T1E1 if that's your jam. A pretty nice vehicle down at a lower tier. And if you're in the naval, the US also gets the USS Tennessee battleship. Alright, so coming in at number 3 for biggest winner is Russia. On the aviation side, Russia picked up the Su-24M. A lot of people have been waiting on that fighter bomber to come in. I thought it was pretty cool it came with the F-111F. I have it, looking forward to using it in some matches. I don't have enough information on it yet to give you any kind of review, but looking forward to it. On the ground side of things, Russia picked up another ZSU-23 Shilka. This time the 23 4M2. This one doesn't have the gun dish radar, so and it's down at a lower BR, I think 7.3. So I think this is the Afghan War modification of the ZSU 23-4. So really the focus is against infantry. We don't really have that in War Thunder, so you might get limited use out of it. Russia also gets a battleship, the Ismail. So there you go. Moving on to number 4, biggest winner is Germany, and they pulled in the FFA P-16, which is a Swiss aircraft. I know that's not what German mains were looking for. There was talk about a Swiss F-18, but that kind of got swiftly cut off. But it is what it is. On the ground side of things, it looks a little better. Germany got another Puma, this time with Spike missiles, and Germany also picks up a battleship, the SMS Derflinger. Coming in at number 5 is going to be France. France gets some new aircraft, you know, Sea Fury FP51, a Seahawk Mark 50 Premium. So, you know, lower tier aircraft, nothing really to get excited about unless that's your thing. They also got a squadron vehicle, another CV90, this time from the Netherlands, which is pretty cool. But I think the central piece of this really small update was that France did get coastal naval closed testing for coastal naval, if you're into that. So coming in at number 6 here, biggest winner is Britain. On the aviation side, they pick up the Royal Australian Air Force F111C. It was really good to see that F111 make it to the game. On the ground side of things, they did get a new Stormer AD, which is at 10.0. So if you don't like the Starstreaks on the 10.3 version, you can get the Stormer AD with Stingers. On the naval side of things, they get another Australian vehicle, the HMAS Fremantle. Coming in at number 7, biggest winners is Italy. You know, not really doing too good this time. They picked up the Tornado IDS, and you know, there's the Al Khalid pack on the ground side of things. And on the naval side of things, you know, you got the MAS 441. Coming in at number 8 is Israel. You know, it is what it is. They finally picked up the F-16C Barak 2, you know, but they already had F-15s, you know, which were giving everybody the active radar homing experience already. So it's good that they finally got an updated F-16. On the ground side of things, they got, you know, nothing to really call home about, the Tehran 6. All right, so switching over to biggest losers here, gonna kind of go backwards. So number 2 biggest loser being Japan. They didn't really pick up any aviation assets. They did get a new squadron vehicle, the CTWV RCV. So kind of like a reconnaissance vehicle. I think the sight on the rear of the vehicle, like the commander's sight, it's on a mast. It's pretty cool because you do get a higher elevation view. But you know, as far as big ticket items, Japan only really gets the IGN Amagi, which is pretty cool. They get a battleship. They also get the PT-802. But the number 1 biggest loser for me is going to have to be Sweden. All they picked up this update was a KV-1, a premium KV-1, a Finnish vehicle. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think about the rundown. And thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking out to the end. And I'll see you in the next video.